I'm Caroline Searcy. Welcome to another week of Bred to Win. Coming up, we look at more stallion service fee announcements. Harry Bailey's along to preview the exciting Inglis chairman's sale. Henry Plumptre's along to bring us up to date on the latest news from New Zealand's Cambridge stud. And successful long-term Bloodstock agent Anton Koolman features in Arrowfield Studs, the horse who made you love racing. But first, time to get up to date with all the latest from the thoroughbred breeding world in our Aushorse News. The Inglis HTBA, formerly Scone yearling sale, was again held at the Riverside Complex at Warwick Farm on Sunday with a $300,000 sale topper. Offered by Bell River Thoroughbreds, Lot 57, a filly by Extreme Choice from the Dash for Cash mare Dashy Diva, was bought by Randwick trainer Michael Friedman, who co-trained Extreme Choice's Golden Slipper winner Stay Inside. The filly is a half-sister to Nitschke Stakes winner East India Man, with her dam overall having 7 foals who've all been winners. This week the sale season rolls on with the Inglis weanling sale on Wednesday and Thursday and the elite chairman sale of race fillies and broodmares taking place on Friday afternoon at Riverside.
Yes, we're very excited. We've got a very exciting catalogue. It's full of high-class quality. We've got 100 lots catalogued starting on Friday night at 4:30. There are 56 mares which are either black-type performers or the dams of black-type performers, 24 mares are free of Danehill blood, and the high-class performers include the likes of Shout the Bar, Daisy Doom, Ella Kazoom, Madam Legend, just to name a few. So there's a very diverse and rich offering in the book.
There are mares in foal to new season sires such as Farnan and Bivouac, giving buyers a chance to get in early to get the offspring of our top Group 1 performing young stallions. And the foals inside these mares often become champions themselves.
As we've seen in the past, previous chairman's sales, mares have been carrying what have turned out to be incredibly lucrative pregnancies and have turned out to be the dams of Home Affairs, Stay Inside, Shout the Bar, Natoya, Loving Gabby. So that's success on the racetrack, as well as success in the sale ring, as we saw this year. 2 years ago, we sold a mare called Calming Influence, whose resultant pregnancy was sold at Inglis Easter this year for $1 million.
And the supplementary entries have continued to grow over the past week or so.
We've just released the supplementary catalogue, which includes 7 exciting lots. They include Keysbrook, who's the dam of recent Group 1 Champagne Stakes winner in She's Extreme. We've also got a mare called Perfect Persuasion, carrying a rare pregnancy to Extreme Choice. And most excitingly, we've also got a share to offer by the same stallion in Extreme Choice, who will be very, very sought after. Obviously, from the first 2 crops, he's produced 2 Group 1 winners. In yearlings alone, by him, have sold up to $825,000 at yearling sales this year.
There are some great international pedigrees on offer too, particularly 3 Juddmonte farm-bred mares being offered by Ollie Tate's Twin Hills stud.
We're very lucky to be in a position to offer mares carrying some of the best covers both domestically and internationally. There are mares in foal to the likes of Fastnet Rock, Zoostar, Piero, I'm Invincible, Extreme Choices I've already mentioned, and international superstars like Kingman, Frankel, Lope de Vega, Maymas, just to name a few. We've got 3 high-class mares from arguably the best breeding operation in the world in Juddmonte. This will be the first offering of its kind in the Southern Hemisphere, which is incredibly exciting to some of the best stallions in the world.
The chairman's sale is preceded by the 2022 Inglis weanling sale, with first foals from the crop of Group 1 winners Exceedance, Too Darn Hot, Piarata, Alabama Express, D'Argento, and the Everest winner Yes Yes Yes, and more.
Inspections have started and we're looking forward to a really exciting weanling sale on Wednesday and Thursday.
Captivant and Neck Up on Halal, and Captivant won the champagne.
Kiora Stud has announced a new stallion for 2022, joining Farnan and Prague, with Capitalist Group 1 Champagne Stakes winner Captivant added to the Hunter Valley Farms roster. Captivant will stand for $27,500 in his first season. The latest round of stallion service fees has seen Coolmore provide one of the main talking points, with first season sire Home Affairs listed as a $110,000 option for mare owners. The son of I Am Invincible won the Coolmore Stud Stakes and the Lightning beating Nature Strip, and is heading to a UK campaign before retirement. Current leading Australian General sire So You Think, who recorded his 40th stakes winner on Saturday, had his fee increased to $93,500. New Zealand's Cambridge stud has increased the fee for their European champion Al Manzoor following his early successes on the track with the likes of Karaka Millions winner Dynastic. The son of Wootton Bassett will stand for $50,000 NZ plus GST, while Snitzel's son Sword of State will have his fee set after tackling stakes races during the Brisbane Winter Carnival. G1 Goldmine this week looks at the sales ring results of Al Mansour and which bloodline seemed the most popular nicks for buyers. His yearling sold for up to $675,000 to thoroughbred experts such as Bruce Perry, Chris Waller and Guy Mulcaster, Paul Moroney, Duncan Ramage, Tony Pike and more. The most popular individual stallions and mares matched with Al Mansour across 3 generations were multiple champion sires Zabeel and Danehill. Oasis Dream was an interesting outcross, while New Zealand broodmare influences included Cotter Healy House and Her Dam the Great 8 Carat.
Glen of Hope in front from Barb Raider.
Saturday's racing focus turned to Morphettville as the South Australian Racing Carnival heads into a month of Group 1 racing. The Australasian Oaks, a race with a rich history of producing star broodmares, was won by a daughter of Japanese champion Deep Impact in Glint of Hope. The filly was bred by Dato Yap's Raffles Racing and sold to Japan's Asrun for $250,000 at the 2020 virtual Inglis Easter yearling sale. Her Dam Sacred Flight is a Fastnet Rock half-sister to Ascot Gold Cup winner Colour Vision.
The colt quickly sprinted to the lead.
Exciting, so you think Colt Elation was too good in the listed Nitschke Stakes? He's a highly rated full brother to Rosehill Guineas winner Inference, who has his first crop racing as 2-year-olds this season. Pontiana by Redout's Choice is also the dam of exciting New Zealand galloper Dragon Leap. So you think maintained his lead on the Australian General Sires list as Regards Marie also won another listed race in Melbourne on Saturday. The Group 3 SA Breeders' Stakes was won by 2-year-old filly See You in Heaven. The daughter of Caulfield Guineas winner Divine Prophet was a $27,000 Magic Millions weanling and then a $90,000 Gold Coast yearling sold to Richard and Chantel Jolly. From an Anabar mare, See You in Heaven had already won the Group 3 Ottawa Stakes and this year's Decateville Stakes. Divine Prophet, a Choisir half-brother to successful New Zealand sire Poisier, stands at Aquis Farm in Queensland and also had Prometo win the Group 2 Skyline Stakes.
Mr. Mozart, Delcini coming to try and spoil the party.
4-time champion Australian sire Snitzel had a great day out at the Hawkesbury standalone meeting. We'll highlight Burgunder shortly, but Mr. Mozart took out the Group 3 Hawkesbury Guineas from the Rip Van Winkle mare Euro Angel, while it was a Snitzel race-to-race double as Exotic Ruby won the Hawkesbury crown. The 6-year-old from the Street Cry mare Oriental Ruby is to be sold at the Magic Millions National Broodmare Sale later this month. Snitzel has now sired 121 stakes winners, including 17 this season alone, and he'll stand in 2022 at Arrowfield Stud at a fee of $220,000.
Bit character broke clear, Dark Destroyers making ground.
And at Eagle Farm in Brisbane, the Group 2 Queensland Guineas was won by Teofilo Gelding Character, a Dali Godolphin homebred from the Medaglia d'Oro mare Monogram. She's a half-sister to Pago Pago Stakes winner Tarquin, from a half-sister to 7-time Group 1 winner Fantastic Light. And finally, Count de Rupee has a stakes victory to his name in the Group 2 Victory Stakes. He already had earnings of over $2.5 million as the Gong winner and Golden Eagle runner-up, and is by rider stakes winner Real Impact. He's from the Redout's Choice mare Timeless Choice, a full sister to star sprinter Lankan Rupee, and was sold by Arrowfield to Robert Price as a Magic Millions yearling for $145,000. The Inglis Graduate of the Week was Burgunder, a tenacious winner of the opening 2-year-old event at the Hawkesbury meeting, the Clarendon Stakes. Another promising colt by Snitzel, his Dam Pinot, is a VRC Oaks winner from another Oaks winner, Dazelle, from a Blue Diamond winner, Danelaw, who's from a Perth Cup winner, Palacious. He beat promising $1.9 million yearling Basquiat and was himself bought for $300,000 at the Inglis Easter yearling sale last year, sold by Arrowfield Stud to Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott and Bruce Slade's Kestrel Thoroughbreds. Time for a break. On Bred to Win coming up. An exciting start to the year for New Zealand's Cambridge stud, and more to come as we hear from CEO Henry Plumptre. And later on, Anton Koolman in Arrowfield Studs, the horse who made you love racing.
Jungle Magnate in front. Harley Movement's trying to cut him down, but Oliver's got the Chairman Stakes won.
This week's Cambridge Stud Performance of the Week was the win of Jungle Magnate in the Group 3 Chairman Stakes at Morfordville in Adelaide. By Tavistock's Victoria Derby and Rosehill Guineas winner Tarzino, who stands at Jerry Harvey's Westbury Stud in New Zealand, Jungle Magnate was a $75,000 NZB yearling, sold by Westbury to Mick Price Racing and Breeding. He's from the Casino Prince mare The Love of Money and now heads towards the SA Derby. Always great to hear the latest from our Bred to Win sponsor, Cambridge Stud. And the recent Inglis Easter yearling sale was a wonderful opportunity to catch up with CEO Henry Plumptre. From Almanzor's success in the sales ring and now on the racetrack to their exciting racing team, there's always plenty to update on from Cambridge.
Done for $9.50. Cambridge Stud, thank you Brendan and Joe, thank you Henry and Mark, thanks for coming over and your support, and best of luck with that filly, she is a beauty.
Henry, it's always fabulous to see you here at Inglis Easter yearling sale, and of course Brendan, Lindsay and Joe, they've been out as well and buying, well, already on day one, a beautiful, beautiful filly. Tell us a little bit about how you found this sale so far.
Very tough, I think. I mean, we took till 6 o'clock last night to buy that filly, and we had a couple of girls earlier on, and we got steamrolled. So I think we probably held off a little bit with the others because that was the filly that we really wanted. We've been trying to buy into that family for a couple of years, and the whole process at Cambridge is to try and buy families which are going to give us some longevity. And you know, she's a 10 to 15 year prospect, that filly. The racing is part of it, but the breeding is a very important part of it. And that family is being bred up by the people who own the fillies and mares in the family, and there's lots of them. And we're pretty excited about it.
The Jolly Bay family and a Zoo Star as well. We're seeing the Zoo Stars have sold particularly well this year. You know, he has another sort of, stepped up to another level, the mares he's received in recent years.
I think Northern Meteor is probably a massive loss. I don't think anyone disputes that. But we're very lucky to have an amazing son of. Zoo Star was a bloody good horse himself, and he's passing on that sort of speed and precociousness that he had, but he gets a beautiful type as well. They're athletic, they've got lovely heads, good walking horses. We're a big supporter. We've got in our racing system now probably our best 2-year-old, the homebred, is a Zoo Star, and we own 2 or 3 others as well, so very happy to get it.
Almanzor, it's fabulous to be buying for him, but you also have Hello Yumzane. You have, when you're talking about a 10 to 15 year prospect of buying these fillies, any of them, who knows what stallions you might be able to match them up with in the future, as well as these young stallions.
Yeah, we're sort of gradually expanding that roster, and you and I have had this conversation before. You have to take small steps in New Zealand. We need to see that market recovering a little bit and the broodmare numbers increasing before you leap in and stand 6 or 8 stallions, and that's not going to happen with us in the short term. So we strategically try and place a horse like Hello Yumzane, has got a great following in New Zealand, a great shareholder base, as has Almanzor. Most of those people in Almanzor came into Hello Yumzane as well, so we've got a very strong support base for him. He's the type of horse that will throw a horse that will suit the Australian sales very well. Strong top, very bold type of horse, sprinter. So we're looking forward to his foals and looking forward to getting them over here. putting him in front of the buying bench.
Indeed, well, you've put Almanzor, all those yearlings over the last year or so, in front of the buying bench. They've loved them. And what about, Dynastic winning the Karaka Million? He's having 2-year-olds performing here in Australia as well. It's just so thrilling to see, because it's hard to know with a European stallion if they're going to work, particularly with early 2-year-olds.
Well, I have to say, I've said it before, that when Scott Koolman mentioned the horse to us 4 or 5 years ago, whenever it was, we didn't immediately say yes, because that pedigree was a little bit out there. No one knew who Wootton Bassett was. But now, 5 years down the track, everyone knows who Wootton Bassett is. It's exciting to be on that journey. I mean, Almanzor's got some really nice stock around, and it's always encouraging when the same buying bench comes back and buys them again and pays the same money or a little bit more for them. That means that they've got faith in the horse, and I don't think he's going to get nailed on 2-year-olds, Caroline, but he's had a couple of 2-year-old winners, and that's done him well. And as you say, the Karaka Million winner, I don't think anyone at Karaka last year would have picked him as being a Karaka Millions type, but he managed to get there, and I think the genius of Jamie Richards, David Ellis can pick a horse for the Karaka Million. I think he wins them just about every year. That combination got him over the line. And he's an exciting horse. We've got about 15% of him. He's an exciting horse going forward for next year.
And you're certainly backing him with your wonderful race mare, Probabile. You've just announced in recent days with a gorgeous video that, of course, she's going to be going to Almanzor, and that is a great boost for him to get a mare such as that.
A lot of people would say it's probably not a commercial decision. Well, it is a commercial decision, because it's actually saying to our shareholder base and our clients in New Zealand, we're backing this stallion and we're putting our best mare to him. And she'll probably go back there next year as well if she throws a decent type. The thing about Halle Youmzane and Almanzor is that they've quite nice outcrosses for a mare like Probabile, And she could have gone overseas. We had an invitation to go to the UK, to Frankel, to Kingman, and it's fantastic to have that international recognition. But she's also Brendan and Joe's baby, and there's 80 people at Cambridge Stud who are absolutely in love with her and invested in her. So we wanted to get her home where everyone can see her, and when Brendan and Joe are out at the farm at Karaka at the weekend, they can wander out in the paddock and there she is. That's a big part of it. The enjoyment for the owner is probably his number one priority. Let's hope we get another one as good as her to replace her. But they're not that easy to find.
It's Sword of State at the 100. He's 2 lengths in front from Imperatriz.
And of course, on the racetrack with Sword of State, it's really interesting watching the horses that are coming through for Cambridge Stud, because, you're racing a lot in Australia now, and that has always been your plan.
Yeah, we have a very nice horse with Mike Moroney called Not an Option, who was bought with the stallion, for the stallion ranks in mind, but unfortunately we ended up gelding him because he just wasn't racing genuinely. It looks like Mike's turned him around, so he's a bit of fun for everybody involved in him. Sword of State is, we're having an each way bet with him. He's come in from a little spell after his last win, really bouncing, and I know Mark Walker is keen to get him to Queensland if he can. He won't get on the plane if he's not 100%, and we're mindful of what happened in Sydney in the spring with the little barrel issue and bloods and that sort of thing. But at the moment he's absolutely flying. He'll probably run in something like the Gold Coast Guineas as a prelude to going up to Brisbane and running in one of the Group 1s up there.
And we can see Brendan and Joe are really enjoying seeing their colours, the yellow and the black, the Wellington Rugby Club colours. They're everywhere at the moment.
Yeah, they are. I mean, we've got some great trainers over here. It's nice to have a competitive racing string, because at the end of the day we're in a performance industry and they need to perform.
And the ongoing success of Cambridge Stud, which you're building on now in a new era, but Burgundy and Tavistock, it is still wonderful to see them representing Cambridge Stud, as not only stallions but also as broodmare sires.
Tavistock, interestingly, he's sort of taken himself to another level now, because it looks like his broodmares are going to start being producers. If you asked Henrietta Bedford, she said that was always going to happen.
Yes.
But she's right, and it took a while for that to filter down to the training ranks, because some of the Tavistock fillies can be a bit hot, but they're very competitive. He's had his Group 1 winning filly now on Triviere, and I think we kept 4 fillies this year by him, which we're going to race, and Burgundy was obviously a loss. I know it was really felt by David Ellis and Peter Vella. Obviously Peter bred him and he was still a shareholder in the horse. And we're sad, it's always sad to lose a stallion like that. But, you know, unfortunately, they are horses and they are very fragile, and they're with you one day and they're gone the next, you know. And what we've got to do is to plan to be, you know, these 5-year plans that we come up, every time we take a horse on board, it's going to be there for a long term.
Well, as you said, you don't want to be investing in sort of 6 or 8 stallions at once, but are you looking at the moment maybe for a new stallion for 2022?
Well, I think Sword of State will definitely go to stud at Cambridge this year, and we wouldn't be standing another one alongside him, because again, that's just going to squeeze the market up, and there simply aren't enough mares in New Zealand at the moment to do that. There are green shoots everywhere. You know, breeders here buying fillies, breeders buying broodmares last year, so I think the green shoots are there, but we need that racing platform. That's got to come back, and that's got to support the breeding industry, because we can't have a viable breeding industry without a domestic racing platform. You can race in Australia, but you've got to have a benchmark at home. So that's what we're hoping for in the next 5 years.
It's great seeing the success of Almanzor already on the racetrack, and we thank Cambridge Stud for continuing their support of Bred to Win. Coming up after the break, well-known Bloodstock agent Anton Koolman in Arrowfield Studs, the horse who made you love racing.
Well, Carolyn, it came to me. I don't know where it came from. I was brought up in a gymnasium and I was wrestling, and then I used to go to school and cut grass by my hands in the summertime, and when there was feed, and put it in a chaff sack and take it down to the draft horses at the draft when they used to pull the horse milk carts, and I just loved going to these stables. And I just never grew up with horses or anything. I had nothing to do with them. And then my aunt, who used to love racing, she took me to the races one day, and she used to give me 10 shillings from every dollar 10 shillings from every pound she collected. And one day there was a horse called Black Midget, and you won $164 to 1, and I got, you know, a few bob. But that wasn't what started me. Gambling has never been my interest, but I loved the horses, and she took me to the races when there was the first horse that I idolised was the champion New Zealand horse called Mainbrace, and he won 19 races, and he won on hard tracks, soft tracks, heavy tracks, any distance. He'd go 19 on end. That's the way I got into racing.
You also rode a lot yourself, but it's the love of the horse, isn't it? I mean, to help you buy these wonderful champions you've bought over the years, there's something in the love of the horse that makes you have the eye for them, doesn't it?
I don't know what it is, but I sometimes look at the horses that I've missed out on. When you get horses that you see, like Let's Elope and Ritual Lady, I mean, she was a marvellous mare. You know, they suck you in. They do. They suck you in. And that, you know, New Zealand had Patrick Hogan, who was the icon of all time. He had his way of presenting horses to you at the sales, and he made sure you had your catalogue open before he brought the horse out of the box, because he maintained, and I do too, the first time you see the horse, you either like him or you don't like him. I mean, we bought Egg Tart here for 40,000, which is no money at all, and she won 2 Oaks, and I looked at the pedigree, and lo and behold, there was a horse down there in the 5th dam. She had one white ear. She was called Taringamar, which is Maori for one white ear. And then I thought, well, this was. So then when I had another look at her, and I could see something there, it just took me back in memories, and that's what it is. It's either in you or it isn't in you. We got her unders, and I bought it for 40,000. Well, what the hell? I love it, and that's the horse I want. So we bought her, but that's the way it goes.
So much history there, and we thank Anton for some great memories for some of our longer term viewers. That's it for this series of yearling previews and Bred to Win Series 1 for 2022. We'll be back in early August with a stack of stallion feature stories, helping you see the best Australasian sires who will produce the next generation of racetrack champions. Don't miss next Monday night's return of Thoroughbreds Are Go, helping you rehome thoroughbreds away from racing. I'm Caroline Searcy. I look forward to seeing you then.